In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to meditate. Meditation is one of those essential practices that one should be doing alongside the spiritual journey. But even going away from the spiritual aspect of it, meditation is such a practical and effective way of training your mind, increasing focus, increasing presence, decreasing things like stress and anxiety. It's all the research is out there. Being able to connect better with others, being able to better manage your emotions and feel how you feel your emotions. I believe that like 100 years from now, people are gonna look at meditation just like how they view exercising. Like they're gonna view it as that important to our overall health. The list of benefits to meditating is so abundant and it's all out there. Like you can just look it up for yourself. And it's simply just the act of sitting with yourself and just sitting and doing nothing essentially. Like you're just sitting with your thoughts. You just stop, look, and listen. However, the key isn't to just randomly get lost in thought and have your mind wander. It's about viewing your thoughts in a detached way and getting more in your body. Meditation is almost like the practice of letting go, having thoughts come up and being aware of them, and then just letting it go and focusing back onto your anchor, which could be your breath. And the other reason why meditation is so important is because we're so used to just reacting to things and having our minds just run on randomly, and then most of our life is just random autopilot responses that we have. But when you start to meditate, you get to view your thoughts in a detached way. So let's get started. How do you meditate? So just begin first in a quiet room, somewhere you feel safe, somewhere where you won't get disturbed. This could be in your room, could be in your car, could be out in nature. I also prefer doing it in the morning because my experience with meditating in the evening when I'm more tired is I can find it harder to focus and concentrate on my breath, and I can almost sometimes like fall asleep depending on how long I meditate for. So yeah, it's much more easy in the morning because you just woke up and your thoughts are like you're more clear-headed. There are many different types of meditation, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to be talking about mindfulness meditation, which I think is the most simple and most popular, but it's deceptively simple for how powerful it can be for training your mind on training your focus and stuff like that. So set a timer for 5 to 20 minutes. If you're a little newer to this, I would say somewhere like between 5 and 10 minutes. Get in a seated position where you feel comfortable and where you can sit for a long period of time. So this could be on your chair, it could be on your couch, or just cross-legged on a pillow, whatever. And then just begin. And so when you start to meditate, you can just focus on just your breath. And what I mean by this is focus on what it feels like to breathe. Like there's so much sensations going on when you're breathing that most of us aren't really aware of. But if you really just sit down and just focus solely on your breath, feel like, where do you feel the breath? Do you feel it in your stomach? Do you feel it in your nose? Like, how does it feel? And just focus on the inhale, focus on the exhale, focus on the pause in between. I like to begin by taking a few deep breaths and just releasing all the tension out of my body on the exhale. So that way I can get very relaxed and it'll make the whole session I like to just do that. Feel the whole sensation of breathing. And this way, it's much more easier to focus on your breath. When your mind starts to wander and you catch yourself, gently just bring your attention back onto your breath. And I say gently because it's very crucial that you treat yourself, you don't get frustrated or angry when you're meditating, because this used to happen to me a lot when I used to meditate, and I found it very hard to I noticed that I get lost in thoughts so easily, and then when I finally realized that I've been thinking of a thought and just stopped focusing on my breath, I would get so frustrated because it would happen so often. And honestly, when you're doing this, it just makes the whole practice just a lot more harder than it has to be. When really you should treat it like you're training a dog almost. Like just treat it with that kind of gentleness. Because most of us are living out our autopilot responses in life. Up to this point in life, we've always just been incessantly thinking. So it's very hard to just suddenly, when you're meditating, to just be in pure, focus, attention on your breath. What you might find if this is your first time meditating is just how restless and random your thoughts can be. You might just start thinking about what you're gonna do next, about the day that you had yesterday, just what you're gonna eat, all types of random thoughts. and this is normal. But the key is to just notice this and then just bring your awareness back onto your breath. When you start off, this can be incredibly frustrating and hard, especially because this is the first time you're really witnessing just how uncontrollable and random your mind really is. And it can be very shocking to some people. I know it was for me, at least. I used to meditate before I read The Power Now. I didn't understand why it was so hard to meditate. If you read The Power Now, he gives a good explanation for this. Basically, we're constant thinkers. Like, our society has risen us, like the way we're living is we're just constantly thinking about things. And you don't really notice it until you sit down and just observe your thoughts. This is how our minds are always operating. But when you meditate, this is just like the first time you're really witnessing how your brain is working and how your thoughts just pop up. You'll get the most out of this practice if you do this consistently. Like, if you make this a daily habit of just meditating for 5 to 20 minutes every day, you'll definitely start to see progress. It's just like working out, You can't see much progress and you won't see much gains if you just work out once a week. The same goes with meditation, but for your mind and for your focus. Eventually, you'll find that the time in between thoughts popping up will get longer and longer. And you'll catch glimpses of just pure mindfulness, or like no thoughts, what Eckhart Tolle calls your true self. It's like this sense of peace and presence, and you start to realize, like, damn, I want to feel like this all the time. Also, eventually this practice will start to seep into your regular daily life, and you'll just start to become more mindful of your thoughts. You're no longer at the mercy of whatever random thoughts or moods that your subconscious decides to throw at you, and you can decide what to focus on. I love to meditate because it just gets me more out of my head and more connected in my body, and I get to recognize those random autopilot responses that we all have of just reacting to things, almost like, the phone rings and you just pick it up, like those kind of autopilot responses. But when you're more mindful of things happening, you can almost sense the stimulus, and before you even react, it creates that space where you can respond. I've been doing this every day for almost the past year now. I don't see myself ever stopping. So I hope you learned something from this video about meditation, and I hope you might start incorporating this into your daily practice and seeing the benefits of what meditation can bring to your life. But that's all I have for this video. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, man. Peace.